Hello everyone, David Klecker here. I'm the creator of AutoHARP3. So when you open up AutoHARP3 for the first time, if you've got martial law, you may also have you will also have the random character generator. You might want to consider using that to create a new character. But the only real thing you can do at this moment is create a new character, since we don't have any characters to open at this point, nor do we have any campaigns to open, and nor do we have any way to start combat. So the only thing that we can do is start with creating a new character. So let's go ahead and click on that button. And let's look at what we've got. So we've got an 8-step process. Everything is going to be mostly on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side is going to be a description that'll help you make sure that you get the right-hand side information in correctly. This stuff right here, this book, the Harp book, this is the same idea as what's going on in preferences, except in this case you can go ahead and set it per character sheet instead of per the application. So I can go ahead and choose which books I'd like to use as I'm creating a new character sheet in AutoHARP. So let's put in some properties. Let's go ahead and put in a character name. Let's go ahead and put in a sex. Let's go ahead and, the statistic configuration option was already set by preferences, and the default rule book, there really is only one that I can set here. So let's go ahead and click on next screen. Here is the list of races that I have made available to me, each with a headshot from the book, and then some preliminary information about size, the endurance points, the power points that each get. Also, again, some text about what's going on here in general. So to select a race for your character, just pick one of these races. I'm going to go ahead and pick Elf, and it's going to give you a dialog window that shows you a picture, shows you some preliminary information here about its size, power points, endurance, height, weight, resistance rolls. Gives you a description, appearance, lifespan, culture, gives you the statistical bonuses for the race, and then the racial talents that come with it. If this is the race that you would like for your character, then go ahead and click Select as Primary. If you want a hybrid, for example, you might want a greater blood hybrid when it comes to your character sheet, like I want like an elf human hybrid, for example. Well, I can click on the human race, and I can go ahead and I can select as greater blood. I can also go ahead and select as lesser blood. I would need to select 2 more races for that. But if I select as greater blood, it will say that that race has been selected as greater blood and elf is as primary. If you want to switch it around, then you're going to have to say that human is your primary and elf is your select as greater blood. So you can make this however you would like to create it when it comes to races, greater blood, lesser blood. For me, I'm just going to create a primary race, and that's it. No greater blood or no lesser blood for this one. No hybrid. I'm just going to create a normal character race here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next screen, and it's going to take me to the talents. The talents have been automatically selected, and you'll notice that I cannot unselect them. That's because these are racial talents. They are a part of the character sheet. The only race that doesn't have this feature is the human, mostly due to the fact that there are 4 talents, and you are actually asked to pick 3 of the 4. So with the human race, I can even go back and show you what that looks like. So if I pick that as primary and come here, you'll see that I don't have these selected. So if I were to select, let's say, 3 of them, then I can move forward and go ahead, and that's kind of what they want you, or that's what this program wants you to do with human. They want you to select it. But if I select, let's say, an elven race, there's already 3 talents, and there's no reason for me to pick and choose which one. These are going to be the 3 that you're going to pick. So I just have them selected, and you can't unselect them. There's no reason to. These are the 3 talents that are going to be included with your character sheet. If you want to know what these talents are, you can go ahead and click on the I button here. It'll tell you the description of the talent. So if you don't know what Enhance Senses does, you can go ahead and click on the I button here, and it will tell you exactly what it does with the description. All right, let's go to next screen, and we will select our profession. You can select out of any one of these. I'm going to hold off on cleric until I get to Beyond the Veil. That has a whole description and a whole expansion pack based on clerics themselves. I'm going to go ahead and pick Warrior Mage. I like this one because it's both a fighter and a mage, and I can show kind of both ideas when it comes to showing you the character sheets and how the application works. So I can have the best of both worlds with Warrior Mage. So I'm going to click on that. Again, I get a picture, description, any talents that might be there, and so you need to select certain talents. For example, if I have a fighter, you'll see that there are talents for that, and I'm supposed to select 2 of those. But in the Warrior Mage, there are no talents that are associated with this profession, so I don't need to worry about selecting any talents. I have my key stats, my professional abilities. These will be rewritten for you on the character sheet itself, so you don't have to worry about memorizing it. And these will also be there for you when you start creating your statistics. That'll be in the next step. Here are my favorite categories. That'll happen when I start ranking up my ranks, skill ranks for the profession rank step. And so if I want this is what I would like to select. So I will go ahead and select profession, and it will put a picked badge on that. If I then go to the next screen, I have my statistics step, and again, my key stats have been there's an asterisk next to them. So these represent my key stats, which means that these stats should contain a 90 bonus. I believe it's 90 or 91, but I believe that that's what the book would like you to do, is to put a 90 on each of these. Again, it's entirely up to you. As you can see, I don't force that, but that might be part of your game rules. For this, though, unfortunately, I won't be able to move forward because it's saying that the stat allocation is more than allowed. I have 610 out of the 550. So I'm going to go ahead and make changes to the ones that are not 90 and set them all to 56. So here again, you have icons that you can select that tells you the description of each of these stats. You have your stat bonus listed here. You have your racial bonus, which came from the race. If you want to add in a special bonus per GM, you can go ahead and add it here now. And then we have our total bonus right here. Let's go ahead and click on next screen. We're going to do culture. Culture works the same as race and profession. You pick the culture that you want. I'm going to go ahead and pick Sylvan. I see that I have my adolescent ranks here, so these are all of the skill ranks that are going to get added to my character sheet. I'm going to need to choose a region lore and a couple of ranks for weapons. So if I want this one, I'll select as primary, and that will be the one that I picked. So I go ahead and go to next screen. It will now take me to my profession ranks. So I'm going to be adding profession ranks to certain skills, and those can be any skills. I need to add at least 5 skill ranks to these skills here under physical. So as a warrior mage, that means that I'm going to put 2 ranks under armor, and I'm going to put 2 ranks under endurance, and I'll just put 1 rank under swimming for the heck of it. Now, this is how this works. So the plus button, as you can see, is adding in a skill rank. If I don't want the skill rank to be in there, let's say I added a rank for swimming and I don't want it there, I actually want it in jumping, I will remove the rank by clicking on the red button here, the red with the minus sign. Then I can go up here and click on the green button again, and it will add a rank. I'm going to put that back here. You'll also notice that there are 2 rows, or at least 2 columns here that have numbers. This is the number of ranks that you have added for this particular step. And this is the number of ranks that exist in that skill total. So on the profession ranks, this is the first time that we're ever adding skill ranks to our character sheet. So these numbers are going to be the same. But when we get into adolescent ranks, it's going to be actually important to know which skills have I already ranked, because you might want to add more ranks to those skills, especially when we get into combat. So we're going to do that to each one of these. I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 ranks to general. So I'm going to put 1 in healing. I'm going to put 1 in perception, and let's put 1 under religion lore. I mean, why not? Let's go mystical arts. I'm going to put in 1 for attunement, a couple for PowerPoint, and let's put in, let's just put in 2 for each one of those. And then for combat, I'm going to go into missile weapon. One thing I haven't shown you yet that I've been using and taking for granted is that these are all of my skills that are under my categories. So these are categories that will exist under your character sheet. So I will have a combat category, a mystical arts category, a general category. These are all of the skills that are located in this category. Now there's a plus sign here. This means that this skill has sub-skills. And if I click on the plus sign, I will expand this skill and show all of the sub-skills, and I can add ranks to each one of those sub-skills. So as we see with melee weapon, if I expand that, these are all of the weapon groups that I can add ranks to. So I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 ranks to long blades. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 ranks to bows. And I'm going to add in 1 more rank to combat. All right, go to next screen, go to adolescent ranks, same idea, except this time you'll notice that with bows I have 2 ranks listed here. Again, these are the number of ranks that are in this skill total. And these are the number of ranks that I have added as an adolescent rank to this particular skill. This lets me know that I've already added 2 ranks, so if I want to add a 3rd one to it, I can go ahead and I already know the skill that I need to add that to. Same thing here under melee weapon. I have 2 more ranks to add. I'm just going to add that to long blades, the last skill that I ranked up when I was with profession ranks. Region lore, I'm going to go ahead and add this to Eastern lands. I'm just going to do one that's random. And then I'm done. This was the last step. I click on next screen. It's going to do some finishing up calculations for the character sheet, and then it's going to bring me to the main character sheet where it contains a lot of information that we need to go over step by step and section by section. And that's creating a character sheet. I'm going to get into this section later, but I just wanted to show you how to create a character sheet. You can go ahead and save this character sheet by clicking on Save Character. It should automatically put the name in, and you can save it as an AHP file. That is a compressed XML file, or you can go ahead and just save it as an XML file, and you can go ahead and look at what it looks like. The compressed XML file here is actually worth doing because these XML files can be a little bit big, and as you can see, they are 42K, and if I were to save this as an XML, you can see that the files are considerably bigger by like a factor of 10. So saving these as an AHP file is actually worth it. So let's go ahead and save that, and it tells me that it has been successfully saved. All right, so that is this tutorial for creating a new character. Again, thank you so much for purchasing AutoHARP 3, and happy gaming.